Hello and welcome to Become the Teapot. I'm Ian.
And so am I.
This episode, to celebrate the show's return to our screens, we're revisiting The Walking Dead, the zombie horror drama series based on the comic of the same name by Robert Kirkman, Tony Moore and Charlie Adlard. The comic recently concluded with issue 193, but that's a little much for us to read in 1 week, so instead we're reading just the first 6 issues on which the first season was based. I've read and watched both before, but Ian here hasn't. Will he like it, or will it leave him groaning? Let's find out.
There are almost panel-to-screen points of this, or at least a good couple of arcs. You've got the bit where the zombie's attacking the deer. You've got the bit where he's walking in on his horse and he's walking towards town. Yeah. You can almost put it from page to screen, like if you pause it. I think they've put enough of the comic into the show for it to be inspired by, or, you know, it's based on.
They're hitting most of the same beats, but it does diverge in terms of story and characters quite a lot, you know, so it does its own thing, so that people who have read the comic book can watch the TV show and still be surprised or get something new out of it, but they will also see those glimpses of the story from the comics and, you know, like you say, just panels and elements. So for instance, the deer in the TV show is one that's shot by Daryl. Obviously that doesn't happen in the comics because Daryl's not in them, it's just a separate incident, but they used that as a framework for a whole scene and built a whole thing around it.
Yeah, also there's the bit where Rick and Glenn get covered in the bits and walk into town, which I said it's done in the wrong order in the show, but it still works. And I do like that they are taking inspiration from certain panels or certain pages. Yeah. I think that they have captured the characters well in the TV show compared to the comics.
I think so. I think they've taken the characters and they've also fleshed them out a bit more and built them up a bit where needed. As I say, I think the major missteps are with characters like Andrea, but generally speaking, I think they've done a really good job. And I think it helps that the creators, Robert Kirkman especially, the writer of the comic book, was involved with the TV show from the early stages and the planning stages.
Yeah. Well, on that note of Robert Kirkman, shall we move on to the eggs and you'll find out why I use that as a segue?
I can't wait. Ian's egg hunt. Ian's egg hunt. Ian's egg hunt.
I'm not yoking you.
So, Ian, what tasty eggs do you have for us this week?
So, we've literally just spoke about the writer. Don't know how familiar you are with his other work.
I've read some of it, yeah. I've read Invincible and Irredeemable Ant-Man.
So, yeah, it's a good thing that you bring up Invincible, because on Carl's t-shirt, there's actually a logo for Science Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a character from Invincible. And then, obviously, I've only watched the first season. Something that I did learn is that over the years, they've got, like, zombie cameos. So in the first season, at the end of episode 1, the zombie in the tank is played by Sam Witwer. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's actually voiced Darth Maul in various Star Wars shows.
He was also in Battlestar Galactica.
He was indeed.
Yeah.
And he also voiced, I think, the main character in one of the Star Wars games. Or
yes, he did. He was the Force Unleashed games. I remember reading somewhere that he was meant to have a little bit of backstory. The reason they cast him as an actor is they were going to have an episode where you saw the fall of Atlanta and it followed one of the soldiers that was meant to be him.
Oh, nice.
And it ends with him dying in the tank. But I don't know what happened there. Apparently it didn't happen with Frank Darabont leaving the show, and I think they had some problems at the beginning of series 2 where they lost a load of film. It got water damaged or something. It ended up not happening.
Oh.
I don't know how true that is. I remember reading something about that.
And then the other zombie cameo that I found out in this, the zombie that kills Amy, is a guy called Greg Nicotero, who is the special effect creator on this show. And he also went on to direct a few episodes in the future as well.
Cool.
My final egg of this episode is, as I mentioned earlier, my favourite character, Glenn, has got some sweet-ass driving moves, but I'm not sure if you recognised the car that he was driving.
I didn't know. What's the...
It's a Dodge Charger, and it's literally the exact same car that Walt buys Walt Jr. in Breaking Bad.
Nice. Yeah, because obviously both AMC shows and both would have been made about the same time. So probably just had it on the lot.
Yeah, and then when I was having a little look into that as well, here's a little future egg.
Oh, future egg.
In season 2, the Heisenberg blue meth appears. In someone's little bag.
It does, yeah.
That's a nice little head nod to future events.
Very nice. So what are future eggs made out of?
Hopes, dreams, and aspects.
Aspects. I'm not sure what future you're working towards. I think it'll be some sort of soya. We're all going veggie nowadays.
Vegan eggs.
The future is green.